Alright, what's up? I'm Charm City 187, yo. I'm going to do a week 1 recap. Just some of the games I got right, some of the games I got wrong, and starting off with the game that's on right now, the Eagles and Redskins. This is what happens when you don't play your starting quarterback during the preseason. Week 1 comes around, and it's basically a preseason game for him. He's looked absolutely horrible up until the beginning of the fourth quarter. He looked slow. He's limping all over the fucking place. He has no oomph on his passes. They're just look like wounded birds flying around. No zing on the ball, no nothing. But I'll take this loss. I knew I shouldn't have picked Washington. Every time I pick Washington, they end up losing. But they're only down by 13. I think they got like 7 minutes left, and they're driving right now, so maybe they'll come back, but I really don't think so. The Thursday night game, obviously, I picked Baltimore, and obviously Baltimore lost. But, I mean, Denver was out for blood. They wanted their revenge the same way we wanted our revenge 2 years ago when the Steelers beat us in the AFC Championship game, and we came out week 1 and beat them 35-7. Same fucking thing. In hindsight, I think I and pretty much everybody in Maryland or in the country knew that Denver was going to come out and win that game. We looked great the first half. Well, not great, pretty good. Just think of it this way. Flacco had 362 passing yards. Only 4 or 5 quarterbacks have thrown for more yards so far this week. 362 yards, he would have probably had close to 500 if Dennis Dixon didn't drop 6 passes. Dallas Clark dropped 3 passes and a touchdown. Marlon Brown dropped 2. Ray Rice, Vontae Leach, Billy Badgema, and Torrey Smith each dropped 1. So if they would have caught the ball like they were supposed to, he would have probably had well over 450 yards passing. But shit happens. We need to start running the ball better, though. And the defense didn't look that bad. It was just after halftime, man, that Dallas Clark dropping that ball and the Wes Welker drop that Harbaugh didn't challenge. That right there kept our defense on the field at that one drop, ended up keeping our defense on the field for 11 of the 15 minutes. They were completely gassed. The offense couldn't get a first down because Dennis Dixon and everybody kept dropping shit. And that's what happens when it's 80 degrees out and your defense is on the field for 11 and a half minutes almost of a fucking quarter. But they did get pressure. They were getting pressure at the beginning of the game. Like I already said, Michael Huff, the only person in the secondary that I do not trust, Michael Huff and Jimmy Smith. Michael Huff, I thought he was supposed to be like a track fucking superstar. He looks like he's got a bag of rocks in each of his pockets while he's running. He looks slow as fucking shit. But we got Cleveland this week. We're gonna come out and murder them. We're 6-2 against Denver, 2-0 in the playoffs. I'll take that. Denver can win the regular season games. They can blow us out, do whatever they want in the regular season. But when it comes game time, we're going to fuck them up because Peyton Manning can't play in the cold. And I think that's obvious that Peyton Manning's not a playoff quarterback because in 5 years, Flacco has tied and surpassed, how many years of Peyton Manning going to the playoffs? New England eked out one against Buffalo. New England's kind of in the same boat as the Ravens are. They're very, very, very thin on offense. They don't have New England don't have any tight ends at all. They have one wide receiver that's actually good, one running back. Shane Vereen's good, and Stephen Ridley, he's a fumble machine. But yeah, Buffalo, I do like Manuel, though. Buffalo did look pretty good that game. I got the Chicago game right. Got the New England game right. My brother got the Miami game right. I got Cleveland, so obviously Cleveland's success depends on one person and one person only, Brandon Weeden. Well, actually, no, two people, and Trent Richardson. Because if Trent Richardson's dancing around in the backfield, Brandon Weeden's going to have a shitty game. Because if Trent Richardson doesn't just go straight downhill, they're not running the ball, and Brandon Weeden's not going to be able to do dick. In order for Brandon Weeden to have a good game, they got to be able to run the ball. And Richardson dancing around in the backfield getting 1.5 yards per carry is not going to do it. I got the New Orleans game right. Atlanta, they just look so fucking slow and out of it and lackadaisical. We both got the Tampa Bay game wrong. And this is another thing. These fucking penalties. Alright, or the penalties and missed calls. This is why referees should be getting fined and or fired. Two dropped passes for Wes Welker, 2 or 3 in the Ravens game. Every single one of them was called completed. The second one he didn't challenge. That was basically the one play in the game that switched the momentum because they scored a touchdown right after it. The Jets game, that bullshit where the guy pushed him out of bounds. And this is why I don't like this play. Alright, last year when we played the Steelers, the first game, Byron Leftwich was going up the sidelines when I don't know, it was like a broken play and he scrambled. Was running up the sidelines. Bernard Pollard, Ed Reed, and Corey Graham all pulled up from hitting him because he was acting like he was going out of bounds. Ed Reed stopped running, Corey Graham went past him, and Bernard Pollard just stopped. And he went like he was going out of bounds and just went straight up the sideline. Ran into him for like a 50-yard touchdown run. That right there is why... And the funny thing is, yes, he was going out of bounds, but when he got pushed, he hadn't stepped out of bounds yet. All you're doing is just helping him out of bounds. That's bullshit, a bullshit penalty. But Jets won. Oh well, that's one of the probably 3 or 4 wins they're gonna walk into this year because they're not gonna win no more than 3 or 4 fucking games. I got the Tennessee-Pittsburgh game right. Pittsburgh looks atrocious. Detroit, Minnesota. Yo, I saw that first play with Adrian Peterson, and I was like, damn, yo, they're gonna kill Detroit. He had 17 yards on 15 carries for the rest of the game after a 77-yard run on the first play. I don't know what the fuck happened, but it seems like after that first play, it was nothing but downhill for the Vikings. Oakland and that guy Terrell Pryor or whatever his name is, they actually look fairly decent, especially in the AFC West. I can see them maybe going 500, but I liked what I saw from them. Indy, on the other hand, their defense looked horrible. Their offense was what it's supposed to be. It's good. They got Reggie Wayne and that tight end that they have is a fucking heathen. And Andrew Luck. No running game whatsoever, I don't think. Seattle at Carolina. That was a close game, but Seattle had to travel. Well, that's the excuse everybody's giving them for why they started off so bad, is because they had to travel from the West Coast to the East Coast. So, Kansas City at Jacksonville. Kansas City murdered them. And what the fuck is it with all these safeties, man? There were 6 safeties yesterday, a safety tonight. I mean, I can swear to God, like 4 or 5 years ago, you'd go seasons without a safety. Like you were like the laughing stock of the league if you got a safety against you. I got the Arizona game wrong. And I got the Green Bay San Francisco game wrong. But in my defense, well, in Green Bay Packers defense, the referees got that game wrong. How much does that suck to be a Green Bay Packers fan and have the first game of the year, 2 seasons in a row, get fucking stolen from you by the referees? That has got to fucking suck. And that's going back to the bullshit with the referees being fined and fired. I think they should be fined twice, and then if they do it again, they should be out of the league. But just think about it last year. Last year, if Green Bay would have gotten that win like they were supposed to the first game, San Francisco would have probably ended up playing Seattle in the playoffs. And if I'm not mistaken, didn't Seattle like fucking destroy San Francisco last year at the end of the year? And not only that, Green Bay would have probably had a divisional round home game. That would have been much better than going on the road. Where did they go? I think they lost to San Francisco in the divisional round. They would have probably had a home game there. San Francisco would have probably got beat by Seattle. That first game changed their whole season for them. And I mean, all you can do is hope that this first game this year doesn't change their whole season for them again. Got the Dallas game right. The Giants look like shit. What did they have? Like 6 or 7 turnovers? They're like the Eagles from last year. And then the game behind me, Philadelphia at Washington. Should have known not to take a team that didn't play any of their, or didn't start their quarterback at all in the preseason. This is basically a preseason game for them. But yeah, alright, I'm out. Peace.